You can increase your productivity by 5 or 10 times overnight by putting the 3 methods into action that I'm going to give you in my free course. So go download it right now by clicking the link just below here. What do you do if you tend to overthink everything too much? And it's like you've got too many thoughts and it's actually hurting your productivity because I need to decide and I need to be sure, right? And then it just goes on inside of you, and it seems to actually be hurting not only the quality of your life, but also the results you get. This video gives you the answer, a simple method that will, 1, make you twice as intelligent as you are now in making really cool decisions, valuable decisions, and number 2, turn overthinking into something really cool. Because I am an overthinker, but I don't call it that because you can't overthink. It's just a myth. It's something people say who don't think a lot, right? Just do it, man. Right? They say, oh, you're overthinking this. And I know what you mean when you say overthinking. It becomes a problem and a hindrance rather than an advantage. But let's turn it into an advantage. See, the brain or your thinking processes, it's really cool that we can do it. But the problem with our computer here is that it has very limited RAM. RAM, RAM, is the short-term memory in the brain or in a computer, you could say. And we can load stuff into a RAM, right? A few things. And then we can work with them, like in a computer. And then if we have to work with something else, we have to remove what we have in there, pull a new set of information in, and then we can work with that. And then we have the long-term memory. This is the hard drive in a computer where you can save all kinds of stuff. This is a very large place, but it's also slow. This is a very quick place, but it's very fast. You could say, sorry, that's bogus. It's fast, but it's a small, limited, and fast. And this down here is huge space, right? Just like a computer, and it's slow. This is not exactly the same, but it's a really cool analogy for understanding what we do with this. When you overthink, you're basically doing nothing but taking a few things up in your RAM and then you're recycling them over and over again. But the solution is down here. You can only hold like 3 or 4 different items at the same time in your short-term memory, and you try to find a solution to a problem using the same 4 balls of information, right? Juggling 4 balls, but you can't solve the problem or the challenge or get clarity until you take way many more items of information into consideration. It's impossible, so you need to use your hard drive. And the only way to do that is to, instead of going in circles when you think, see, you have like 3 or 4 items here. Let me just go 4. And then just going round in circles, trying to find a problem. Sometimes you jump from one to the other, and it just becomes this self-serving, you can't, where is the solution? Where do I get clarity? But you can't. What you have to do is that you have to take this circle of incessant thinking and unfold it. So you start writing. Writing is the way out of overthinking. Because writing, instead of having a circular process in the brain, you now have a sequential process where you take all these bits and pieces and then you think of one thing, combine it with the second, go on to the third, go to the fourth, and then suddenly you run out of short-term memory. You can no longer remember this, but now it's on paper. So you can go back here and then go here, and then back and forth, and suddenly you can take in 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 different pieces of information and read what you've written and unfold or unwrap your own thoughts, and then I promise you, you'll be twice as intelligent. Just because of this. This is stupidity, because there's simply not enough space in there. This is intelligence. So start writing. Even if you're writing poorly, doesn't matter, it's for yourself, right? Don't do headlines necessarily, just write instead of thinking. That's the power. That's the only way out of it, because you simply don't have the ability to make very intelligent decisions by just using your short-term memory. The fact that we can write, the invention of the pen and paper is it's as big as the internet, because that allows us to suddenly really get intelligent. Before, we could just go, and I really strongly believe that that's why we spent like 195,000 years living in nature, or 190,000 years living in nature, being cavemen and cave women, because we did not have this tool. You have it, use it. I hope to see you in the next video after you subscribe to this channel.